Hi there everyone, and welcome to my flawless foundation routine video. And in this video I'm basically going to be telling you guys about how I do my foundation, all my steps, all my tips and tricks, and how I make my makeup look flawless throughout the day. So I really hope you guys enjoy, and I hope you guys learned something. So here we go. So to start off with, in my opinion, a primer is the best way to start off. If you use a primer, it gives you a nice base for your makeup. It gives you a nice base for your concealer and your foundation and everything else. And it helps fill in your pores too and make your skin really smooth. So definitely start off with a primer. It'll make your life so much easier. Now the second thing that I use is concealer right under my eyes. And this is really important just because I have really dark under eye circles, and a lot of people also do. And it also is really good to use concealer to cover up your blemishes. And a lot of people use concealer after their foundation. Don't do that unless it's a liquid concealer. If it's a stick concealer, use it before your foundation so you don't wreck your foundation. So this next step is where the brushes come in. It is super, super important to use brushes when you're doing your makeup. They don't have to be expensive MAC or Sigma brushes, but they can be like Sony Kashuk or even e.l.f. brushes from the drugstore. Any brush will work. But this next step definitely requires a brush. So this next step that I'm talking about is your foundation. So basically in the foundation step, it is super important to use brushes if you want the airbrush look. I'm not saying that you have to. I'm just saying if you want that super airbrush look and that flawless look, it's better to use brushes. If you just want a natural everyday look, go ahead and use your hands. That's totally fine. So there are many different kinds of foundation brushes that you can use. I'm going to tell you the ones that I use, but I'm not going to show you them in real life because they are pretty dirty, but I'll insert pictures in the video. So the first brush I'm going to talk about is my Sigma Duo Fiber F50 brush. And this one's a really good brush just because it doesn't put the makeup on too heavy, and it really helps blend it out well, and it doesn't leave your foundation streaky, and it just makes it look really light and fresh. And I'd say that's probably one of my favorite foundation brushes. So the second brush that I'm going to talk about for my foundation is the Real Techniques brush by Samantha Chapman, and it's a multitask brush. And I really like this. I don't know if it's supposed to be used for foundation, but that's what I use it for. And it's really nice and dense, and it's a little smaller than my other foundation brushes too. So I really enjoy that, so it can get really under the eyes and really like into like the cracks and stuff. So I really like that, and I think it's just great for getting into all like the tiny places that are harder to get with a bigger brush. And it blends really well just because it's so dense, so it blends really evenly. And the third brush I'm going to talk about is my Sephora Professionals brush, and I think it's called the Airbrush brush, but anyways, it's really good. I got it at Sephora a couple of years ago. I don't know if they still have it, but if they do, I'll insert a picture. And it's one of my favorites just because it goes on so well, it puts the foundation on so smoothly, and it's just great. And when you're using a brush while doing your foundation, make sure you blend all over your face. Don't miss a step, don't miss here, don't miss around your eyes, just don't miss the sides of your face. Blend everywhere, because if you don't, then you'll have lines everywhere on your face where you didn't blend. Definitely make sure to blend into your chin too, just a little bit, not too far obviously, but make sure you blend into your chin to make it all blend and make it all look smooth and even, and that's really important, or else you may look streaky throughout the day, or it just may look wrong. The foundation that I'm currently using is Revlon Color Stay, and I really like it just because it gives you just a perfect finish, and it's high coverage, but it's not too high coverage, and it's not too heavy. A little can go a long way with that stuff. And it comes in a whole bunch of different varieties. There's one for normal to dry skin and oily skin. So it works for everyone, and it comes in a ton of different shades. It'll make your skin look awesome. So after my foundation, I use a more liquid concealer under my eyes, and the one that I'm currently using is the Benefit Erase Paste. And I really like that just because I personally have very dark under eyes, and I find that just stick concealer before my foundation doesn't cover that up all the way. And if you don't have dark under eyes, you don't necessarily need to do this step, but if you do, I usually use the Benefit Erase Paste just because it's more of a salmon-y color undertone, and that's really good for canceling out the blue and purple undertones under your eyes. So that's just a little tip for you, and that's just something that I do to cancel out my dark under eyes. So after you use your foundation, it is especially important to use powders to mattify your skin, and you don't have to use it all over your face, but make sure you use it on your T-zone, which is your forehead, and down your nose. This is because that is the oiliest part of your face, and your foundation will definitely slip no matter what if you don't put powder on there, especially if you're going to be wearing your foundation for a long time. it is very important to put powder on your T-zone. So after you have finished your powder and your concealer and your foundation, you should add blush, bronzer, and illuminizer, just because your skin will look a little flat and you may look a little dead throughout the day if you just have your foundation and powder on. So add a little blush, it'll add a little more life to your face, it'll make your cheeks rosier. Really, any blush will work. And they all come with brushes too usually, so you should be fine with that. Now, one thing that I use every day now, but I never used to use because I always thought it would make me look orange and I was just always so scared of it, is bronzer. Bronzer is really important, and this is because it adds a little warmth to your face. And no, don't use it all over. Use it contouring here and up by your forehead, but not all over your forehead. And a really good bronzers from the drugstore are the NYC Sunny Bronzer, and then there's one from Physicians Formula. I can't remember the name right now, but it's really good. Just any light bronzer is really good. But you really have to be careful with bronzers not to apply them too heavy, especially if they look a little orange. So the one that I'm currently using right now is the NARS Laguna one, and I really like that one. It looks really natural on your skin. In the pan, it looks a little scary just because it's a little sparkly and it does look a little orange, but it goes on so nice and natural and it just looks great and it just warms up your face. And it's really important and it's something you should definitely use, but definitely be careful and don't be heavy-handed. Make sure you tap off the excess bronzer before you put it on your face, or else you may going around looking a little dark. And yeah, just make sure you put it on very carefully. So the final step in making your face look airbrushed and flawless is the illuminizer, and that goes right here and maybe even a bit above your brows if you want to. So that's really important just because it catches the light and it makes your face look all lit up, and then it just makes you look brighter and more wide awake and just wonderful, and it's really good to use. I use it every day. The one that I'm currently using is called MAC Soft and Gentle, and I really like that one. And there's also a Benefit one that I've been using lately, and it's called High Beam. And it's more of a liquid one where you put it on your cheeks and you just blend it in. And that one's really nice too. But there's tons at the drugstore. You could even use a shimmery eyeshadow, just a natural like white maybe or champagne colored shimmery eyeshadow, and just put that along your cheekbones. And that should really lighten up your face a lot. So that's it for my flawless foundation routine. And I really hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I hope I can make more videos for you guys. So if you liked my video, like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be making more videos very soon.